Hi, this is Rusen Bola. I hail Carib-Sport. Let's get to it. Should have done this report 24 hours ago, but a bit under the weather. But the match with Curacao is imminent, so I thought let me get to it. First of all, for those of you who have been, thanking me and complimenting, etc., thank you. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your friends if they like football. Before I go to the report, I just want to mention two names tonight: Ronnie Simmons, ex-TNT International, and a fellow called Dejan Kovacevic, if I'm pronouncing it right, from Croatia. Forgive me. If you don't want to hear this, fast forward. If you do, just listen for a second. Ronnie Simmons, for those of you who don't know, was one of the top defenders to come out of Trinidad in the 1980s. I wrote a feature on him in my Hail Carib-Sport website, which was partially reprinted or copied in the Trinidad and Tobago Express. Made his international debut while in Form 6 versus Barbados. Won the, I believe it's called the US Cup. Forgot his team. Whilst in the United States, played second division football in Spain, played for Trinidad and Tobago, played in the first ever Gold Cup in 1991. Should have played a lot more for Trinidad back in the day, but there was a certain ignorance of picking college boys back then. Um, he just often or sometimes he will send me private messages, really good report, really nice work, you continue to do good work and so on. People like us, we do this for free. Well, me anyway, no money. You find your free time, you do it. Sometimes you're doing it late at night, waking up people in the house. And so when you get praise from somebody as esteemed as that, it's complimentary and it makes you feel good because you get no money, right? All right, so thank you, Ronnie, and everybody else. Dejan Kovacevic, this guy is from Croatia. He helped me out about a year or two ago because of the TTPFL forum I have on Facebook. Long story short, he's a big Trinidad and Tobago football fan. Ever since 2002, he liked Dwight York. He really liked Dwight York. Then he saw Trinidad and Tobago in the World Cup and continued to be a fan. Has always followed TNT football as a no, Sanwo Jabloti fan. He's a Sanwo Jabloti. But he was asking me, what happened to W Connection? This is how the man knows TNT football. He contacted me recently. He's trying to find WhatsApp chats for TNT football. If anybody can help him out, let me know. I knew the TTFA had something going on, at least information or something, but I can't find it anymore. So if you can help him in that area, let me know. What got me is whenever the guy talks about the Trinidad football team, he says us, we. This match against Curacao is very important for us. We have to win it or we have to do well if we're going to qualify for the World Cup. The man is from Croatia. He's going we, us. Not married to anybody from Trinidad, no child in Trinidad. The man just loves TNT football. Football, the power of football, it's a beautiful thing. So to Dejan, I say thank you very much. It's a compliment to our foreigners that enthusiastic about our own football because we have people back home who aren't that enthusiastic. Okay, moving on now. Well, we're going to be playing Curacao. I did a video before on what their players are like, and so I'm just going to summarize really quickly. They got about seven odd players in the Dutch first and second division, and a handful playing throughout Europe and the MLS and so on. Fellas, you want to look out for Eloy Room, their goalkeeper. He had a fantastic game against the Jamaicans and really kept them in the match. Eloy has played for the teams like Go Ahead Eagles, PSV Eindhoven, Columbus Crew. He's presently with Cercle Bruges in the Belgian First Division. He joined them on a free transfer up until 2025. I do not see him with another club, so I assume he's still with them. He's about 36, but listen, the guy is amazing. He is amazing, and he really kept them in that match versus Jamaica. Then you got Shoandi Sambo. He's a right back playing with Spartak Rotterdam. And he's on loan from Burnley. Then you got Joel Margarita. Well, of course, we know Sambo and Margarita. We saw them in Trinidad, right? Um, he plays for Beveren in the Belgian second division. Then you got the Bakuna brothers. You got Leandro Bakuna. He's 34 years old. He's a former Dutch youth player. He's a midfielder right back. And from 2013 to 2017, he played for Villa, Reading, Cardiff, and Watford. He's presently playing with Bandırmaspor in the Turkish second division. His younger brother, Junino Bakuna, 28 years old. He's a central midfielder, former Netherlands youth player as well. He has played for Huddersfield, Rangers, and Birmingham in the past, and he's presently with Gaziantep in the Turkish Super League. Then you've got Armando Obisop. He's a centre back. He made his debut versus Jamaica in the last match. He's 26 years old and he has represented the Netherlands from under 15 right up to under 21. So he's a player with pedigree. And as I said, he made his debut against the Jamaicans in the last match. Sorry, my notes are all over the place here. Okay. All right. So we're going into Curacao. The match is 2 days away. It is the 14th of October. If you saw the Curacao versus Jamaica match, Curacao played well, but Jamaica had numerous opportunities. Jamaica should have won that match by 2 to 3 goals. I think what happened is when the Dutchmen went up one up, the Jamaicans were trying even harder. The Dutchmen got a second chance and a 2-0. Life was hard. But Jamaica should have won that match 2-1, 3-1. Yes, the goalkeeper did a fantastic job. Yes, the team defended well, but the Jamaicans could have finished better. This has been a Jamaica's problem. In 2024 against Cuba in a qualifying match, I think it was the CONCACAF, but it was a qualifier. They played against 10-man Cuba for more than 45 minutes in Kingston and couldn't score. The match was 0-0. They played against the British Virgin Islands, not an amazing side. Not an amazing side, and won only 1-0. And they want to complain that we were missing 4 or 5 players. Well, I mean, you're playing against 10 men at home and you still can't score against British Virgin Islands. How many players you need to beat British Virgin Islands with fourth and fifth tier players? Jamaica sometimes is their own worst enemy, and if I think Jamaica will qualify. But if they don't, they're gonna look back at that Dutch game and shake their head. And this is what football is all about. It's not about how well they play, but also at the end of the day, putting the ball in the back of the net. Curacao was a good team, but they're not incredible. They're not incredible. I don't think they're as good as Haiti. And the Dutchmen are getting the job done. Um, so on to TNT now, okay? Basically, long story short, I have in my notes here. We have to improve in the scoring department, and we have to learn to go for the throat. When we look back at this tournament, it's the little moments that might come back to haunt us if we don't qualify. We dominated a second half against Curacao at home and didn't score. Okay, a valuable 1 point for Curacao, -2 for us. Um, Something else I was going to say about oh yeah, against Bermuda. Yeah, I drift off there, boy. Alzheimer's. Against Bermuda, I was hoping Bermuda would be good for 4 or 5 goals. Okay, we we had them 2-0 in the first half. We had them. I said, okay, we could get four in this. We had them 3-0 in less than 50 minutes. I said, okay, we could get 4 or 5 in this, and we didn't. We hit the bar twice. We just did not get that extra goal. And there was a moment late in the game when Cardenas was coming down to the right. He had space, and I remember telling myself as he made his way down, it's late in the game. We're up 3-0. We're not going to lose. Is he going to look for somebody or is he going to go for glory? As he came in, Ubiku made a diagonal run across into the box and he was free. And Cardenas went for the angle covered by the keeper, hit the bar. We didn't score. And Ubiku was like, I'm right here. I'm free. And had he crossed it, chances are we would have scored that goal easy. And it would have been 4-0. And this is what I'm sorry, but this is what Bermuda is good for. They're good for points and they're good for goal difference. And it's gonna kill us later on if goal difference is what kicks us out of this qualifying tournament. So we just gotta learn to go for the throat. We gotta learn to score. Maybe the same is for the Jamaicans, but I worried about my team, not Jamaica. As I said, Curacao is a good team. They're not a great team. But they may probably qualify for this World Cup because they're getting the job done. It reminds me of Trinidad and Tobago. In '06, we were good but not great, but we had Bean Hacker, we had a plan, we had 1 or 2 players who could make a difference on a football field, and we put it all together, and then we surprised a lot of people, didn't we? A year before we qualified, we lost in Scotland like 4-1. The Scots were calling us a glorified pub side. Yep, on TV. A year later, it was us qualifying for the World Cup, not them. So we gotta learn. We gotta we gotta score. So let's look at some players. Ubiku, I've seen him a couple of times now for Trinidad. No big deal. I don't understand what people get to know about, but he plays a better brand than most TNT players. He's a big, strong fellow. Apparently, he scores for his club sometimes. So I know maybe he will show something on the field. Usually, when you come on to a field and you have 20 minutes plus, at least you have some kind of impact, even if you don't score. Yeah. Malik Khan, I've not seen Malik a couple of times for Trinidad coming off the bench. I ain't seen nothing to talk about. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. But he's playing well for his team in the Czech Republic, so I guess they had to give him a run. Of course, they would have had him in training, and especially when you come off the bench with fresh legs, you want to see, especially a midfield or offensive player, terrorize the defense a bit. Monica, I didn't say he looked bad. He just nothing to get on about. Yeats, we have to do better than Yeats. Sorry, we have to do better than Yeats. We need somebody in that midfield who could offer some oomph, who could harass the defense, make the defense think, make some beautiful passes here and there. We don't have a lot of options. I realize that. I'm going to come back to midfield just now. Wayne Fredericks is second. I thought he had a good game against Jamaica. A little unlucky. If it was up to me, maybe it would be Natty James and Wayne Fredericks playing instead of Yeats and Rampasad. It was up to me. It was up to me. All right. So yes, yes. I put here need more offense in the midfield. Let me start off with Okay, we need more offense in the midfield. What we have right now is not great. John Paul Rushford, I've said why he's not playing before. Market, they don't want him. What that leaves us with? Well, we have Yeats. Yes, Monique is there. I see nothing amazing about Monique. So who's left? Who's left? Who's left? It was up to me. Maybe Jovin Jones, but Jovin Jones is not on the side. So now, why Jovin Jones? Jovin still has some skills. He could pass. He could shoot. He's got an educated left foot. He's not the greatest guy right now at his age, but we don't have much options, do we? Jones is not on the side. So that would I would say Kevin Molino. He's a solid presence. He can shoot from the outside. He'll tackle. He will not be a liability in defense. And honestly, I don't think he could be worse than Yeats. People say he doesn't have 90 minutes in him, and then play him for 60, 70 minutes and bring on a sub. That's what we have, five subs, right? So that's one way to go. Okay. So one day I hope Market will get his chance. I hope John Paul Rushford will find his form and get a little bigger and stronger. I forgot what country he's in right now. I don't think it's Oman, but he's in somewhere playing football. Um, Somewhere in the Middle East. I wish him the best. Okay, so do we talk lineup? And about my boy Real Gil. I figured Real had to be everybody talking about Real Gil. I figured Real had to be injured. For him not to be on the bench or starting, something weird, and I'm hoping he'll be in the mix because we need that extra punch up front. So let's talk for a second. Let's look at the back four. Um, Riemann. Riemann has had a good game. There's no reason in fact, the original back four. Riemann, Kobe Henry, Trimmingham, and Cardenas. Good starting back four. They okay. Good starting back four. So then midfield on the left, Spicer on the right, Dante. Midfield, okay, of course, Phillips. We'll talk about the other midfielder later. Up front, I would say have Levi Garcia and Real Gil. Okay, we'll have that oomph up front. Or between Gil, Garcia, and Dante Seeley. Of the three, have two up front and one on the right. Maybe not Gil on the right because we might be weak on the right if he's there. Levi, as we know, can play on the right and feed beautifully. Huites was on the right, pass the ball into the box so Seeley could score. It was Levi on the right, passing to Seeley, right? I don't know if Seeley can play out and out striker. I know he plays left and right. But Dante up front with Real and Levi on the right, Spicer on the left, coming in to feed them. Not a bad way to go. But of those three, two up front, one on the right. That's a good way to go. Another option, and I don't think it's a great option because I think this guy Payne is so wonderful. I hate to see him on the bench, but we have depth. Could always have Cardenas on the right and Payne behind him. Maybe Sealy up front with Levi Garcia. That's just an option. But I really would prefer to see Real Gil, especially against the Dutchman starting. Real, for me, his problem has been strength and size. I don't think he'll have that problem with the Dutchman. And when we play Jamaica, maybe I'll bring him off the bench because of that problem. Again, Dwight could figure these things out by watching them in practice. But I would like to see. So, again, my back four, Raymond, Kobe Henry, Trimmingham, Cardenas. On the left and right, Spicer and Dante Seeley. Midfield, Phillips. Up in front of Phillips, Levi Garcia, Real Gil. So, who with Phillips? Who with Phillips? This is the headache man does get. And I would have to see with the people they have around them. If not Kevin Molino, Wayne Fredericks the second. Anybody else? I just sorry, Rampasadi, etc. No, no, no. That's just me. I know nobody listening to me. Enough headache. We can do it. We can go to Curacao. We can get a point. We can even win. We don't have to look pretty. We just have to win. And we're gonna have to put them on the back foot. They're gonna want to attack us. They're gonna want to gallery on us because they're on home soil, and a man like Levi with his speed. Countering would be very useful, and again, this is where Real Gil would come in, and Real could take a ball and spread it beautifully. All right, we can do this. Jamaica versus Bermuda. Just a quick one because this is not much to say. Everybody figure Bermuda is good for three, and this is true. Let's talk about Bermuda for a second. They are cut tail side, sorry Bermuda. But sides like this surprise you sometimes. Bermuda played against Curacao and did something that Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago could not do in 180 minutes of football. They scored a goal. They scored two goals. All right? They did it in about 20 minutes. The two teams together, Trinidad and Jamaica, couldn't do it in 180 minutes. Jamaica, as I said, couldn't score against a 10-man Cuban side in Kingston. So I am hoping Bermuda go there, maybe get a little lucky, maybe the Jamaicans get a red card. Even if it's a draw, I'll take it. I think Bermuda ain't winning in Jamaica, but if they could draw, I could take it. And if another miracle takes place and they win against Curacao and Bermuda, good. I don't see that happening, but there's always an odd surprise here. And if you follow football, surprises take place all the time, especially in CONCACAF. We've initiated them, we've received them. So let's hope the Bermudans have a surprise in them. I really hope so because it behooves us. So as I said, I believe in my Warriors. I think we can do it if we get the right combination going. And this grandfather rule, I'm still looking for some grandfather youth to show up for Trinidad and Tobago, but we need to improve our midfield. We need to have more options up front. We finally have lots of depth in defense. So that's it. October 14th, Warriors Unite. What is this? Hey, Carnival Kings, don't try that shit with me. Warriors Unite. I believe in Dwight York. I believe in the Soca Warriors. God bless Dwight York. God bless the Warriors. Your boy sick today. God bless me.